Well, look at this, what just arrived in the mail. This is the handlebar that allows me to use two brakes, the front and the rear, at the same time. It even has got this small locking pin here, so that you will have your brakes put. I don't really need that, but well, maybe it's a nice feature, but I don't really need it. Here on the back, this is where your assembly will go. It's pretty easy to install, and I'm going to show you now how everything looks when it's assembled. Well, here it is attached to the bicycle. I still haven't screwed it down yet because the handlebar with the throttle and the kill switch assembly is still missing. That's gonna come on here next. And by the way, how this thing just works is we have the two brakes going in here, and if I pull on the front, it will engage the brakes on the front and the back at the same time. I only have to readjust the brakes because, well, if I pull the thing full down, I can still move the bicycle pretty easily. Of course, well, this is a different assembly compared to these. Well, they have a lot. Well, the part where the cable goes in is a lot longer, so here you can see it. So that's the reason why I have to do some readjusting. But anyways, this thing is pretty cool. I don't want to have three of these brake handles on the top, because on the other side there the clutch will go. And I have all the braking power this bike has on one handle. And since this is a motorized vehicle, then you'd really want to have some brakes on there. Okay, so well, I have adjusted the brakes again, and well, the way you do that is, first of all, you do not adjust your brakes with these. These are the screws that mount in here so that they can hold your brake cable. These are not designed to actually adjust the brake. Well, you can use them a little bit, but just don't start screwing that thing half its way out and with that nut to the back. That's not what it's designed to do. The way you actually adjust your brake is, well, if we look on the back, I have these cable type brakes here. And the way you do that is you have this single screw here on the back, where you just take the correct bit out of your screw set for that, open it up, pull them together and make sure that they have got some space between the wheel and the brake, like it's got right now. And then when you pull your brake, I can demonstrate to you that on the front. You can see the wheel moves easily, but as soon as I engage the brake, it grips directly to the tire, and there's no way I can move this entire bicycle right now. I'm just really forcing to move it, and it's really difficult. So this is actually very helpful. The link where I bought this, I got this on Amazon, is in the description. I highly recommend to get yourself one of these if you're going to install a motor and not have three handles on your entire bicycle. Well, look what has arrived. I have got all the parts. There is the mess of boxes, I've already unboxed them all. And here's the really interesting part, the motor. And it seems like it has actually survived the transport, since I have heard from a lot of people that, well, the motor got badly damaged and they had to get themselves a new one. Well, if the seller replaced it, which in most cases he did, but mine seems to have just survived it with some scratches, which is okay. I'm definitely not going to complain about some scratches on here. Here we have the big sprocket, and I already checked it fits perfectly on my bicycle. That's the best thing. In some cases you have to make the hole in the inside a little bit bigger. Here we have got all the other parts. Gasoline filter and all the mounts, and the fuel cap and fuel pump, and well, not really a pump, it's a valve, but yeah, here's all that is needed to. I already know how to assemble the entire thing. I've seen a lot of tutorials. And it actually does come with some instructions, which is nice. Although maybe a title on the front would have been a little bit better. And you know what's the biggest irony? Do these people have got a motor attached to their bike? No. Do these? No. Do these? No. So what's the point of putting those pictures on there if you're not going to feature your product like you do it down here? And here's just the basic overview. This is a 80cc motor because there are 50, 60 and so on. And yeah. Here we have everything necessary. One thing I will do is adjust the clutch, because if I pull the lever back, I can't move the wheel. Well, the gear in here. So yeah, that's definitely going to be done. But first of all, I'm going to mount the sprocket on the back of the tire. Got it laying over there, and it fits on there nicely. Well, there we go. I have mounted the additional sprocket in the back of the tire. It still isn't very even, but it's okay. Well, it's not the best, but that's as good as I can get it. So what I'm going to do now is install the motor. So well, as you can see, the motor is mounted into the bike. What I'm going to do next is do the entire handlebar and probably mount the gas tank. I'm going to do the chain lightest because, well, that's a little bit messy. And, well, my hands are already looking pretty full of oil. But first of all, I'm thinking about installing the muffler first, just to see if I have enough clearance with the pedals and everything. This goes here. I don't know why it always moves outside, but yeah, what I also additionally did is I had the rubber pieces from the steering wheel still left over, and I attached those between the motor and the bicycle itself, just to take out some vibration, and well, so that just not metal parts are rattling on metal parts. So that should just be okay. Well, now since I have the muffler in place, well, that is a very, very, very close fit. As you can see, the pedal is almost touching the muffler. I already bended it a little bit so that it fits, and I think I have to bend it some more. Which, well, it's not good, since I cannot heat this thing up with a gas burner or anything like that, because, well, I would just ruin the entire paint. So I have to bend it by hand. And, yeah, that's not the best thing. But anyways, I'm going to continue with the steering wheel now. So, well, here we go. This is the finished motorized bicycle. As you can see, it's again in my apartment, and why is it wet, you may ask? Well, I had a short test ride with it again, because I had to adjust some things. What I would like to point out is, first of all, if you're going to make your fuel line, make sure that you mount the filter the correct way around, otherwise you're going to run into some issues where the motor will just randomly shut off. And, well, there is an error on it, but for whatever reason I mounted the filter upside down, and I had exactly those problems. Next thing, in most of the videos I see, this small handle here on the carburetor is the open position, but if I have it like that, nothing will happen. The motor will just run dry. There's no gasoline going into the motor. So it turns out mine, if I put the handle down, ooh, it's still warm. Put the handle down, it's on. Also, you might want to check that your fuel line is on there very tight. You might use some some plumbing tape or so, because if that isn't tight, gasoline will leak out and drop onto the motor. And if you have had a very, very long trip and the motor is very hot after that, you will cause a fire. Same thing with the carburetor. Down here we have the small valve, and that is just an absolute stupid design, because, well, that is so you can get some gasoline to drain your carburetor from the gasoline, and that is not holding everything in. If you're wondering why some paint is missing here, well, it turns out that the Chinese people were so intelligent that they first of all mounted everything to the motor and then painted it. So that's why some paint got off there. Brilliant. Also, if you're going to ride with this, make sure to have one of these, a set of screwdrivers, and also a set of wrenches with you, because a lot of things will get loose when you ride. First of all, my carburetor fell off. That was the first thing that happened. Then this part here, where you screw your clutch in, your clutch cable came off. Then the entire carburetor assembly with the bolts fell off, and it weren't the bolts that were loose. It were the screws inside the motor itself that got loose. Same thing could happen with the muffler on the front. So always carry something with you so that when something gets loose you can always tighten it up quickly and continue on riding. There you go. Also another thing, this chain tensioner is bullshit. This is absolutely dreadful. This is now the only position where it works fine, but first of all I had it literally in the front and the chain was moving too much in the back. The motor didn't like that and was always shutting off. Then I removed it and it turns out, well, the chain is too long. Okay, what shall I do? Well, I checked and I removed one link. The chain was too short. So there was no way around it. I had to install the chain tensioner again. And since this is one of the parts that will get a lot of vibration, you might add another nut on here and here and here, so that this gets really, really tight and can't loosen itself. But what also I highly recommend doing is, because due to all the vibration and some things might get loose, this thing will start a slide to the front or the back. So what I did is I drilled a small hole down here and drilled that into the bike, into the actual frame of the bicycle. And what I'm going to do here, I still haven't found a proper screw for that, but I'm going to install a small, put a small screw in here that will just stop this thing from moving back and forwards if anything does get loose. Yeah, this thing on the back was the most time-consuming part. Okay, hello there again. This is me, Hard Disk Lover, and as you can see, we are outside of the city. Please excuse the bad quality video and the bad audio. That's because I have to take this video with my phone, since I can't bring my primary camera with me, because, yeah, can't do it. So, I'm just going to go and flip the camera and show you everything with the bike and so on. Okay, here is the bicycle in fully working condition. I'm going to switch it on soon, but first of all I'm going to point out some things. I am currently just outside of the city. That where the traffic lights are is exactly where the city ends, and I have got a nice empty clear bike path or road or whatever going all the way hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometers to France. Yay! So, this is the only place where I don't think that people can say anything against me riding this, because, well, I'm not in the city anymore. The police can't do anything since they are only for the city. Of course, the highway patrol could do some things, but again, this is the bike path. They can't do anything here. This is the bike path where tractors and other vehicles can drive without any problems. So, I'm going to switch on the motor and show you everything how it works. And I hope I have enough gasoline, which I should. So, here we go. The motor is switched on. Let's have a ride. Shall we then? I hope I can ride this thing with one hand. Shouldn't be an issue. Oops, just switch it up. So, there we go, you have seen me ride it. And now I'm going to have some fun with it. This is where probably my tour ends. And I'm driving back into the city. Because I'm, yep, almost out of gas. Yeah. If you want to have a look, there's not much left. Just a little bit in there, but that will probably be enough for about 5 kilometers. So, yeah, this kit is really awesome, and you should definitely get one if you want to have some fun with the bicycle. Currently, well, I'm in a pretty outsider region with a lot of empty buildings that are probably very interesting for urban explorers, since nobody is in them, and well, but yeah, that was it. That was the motorized bicycle. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.